will start as soon as possible. Okay. Well, this is Top Gear 3000, the third and last game of the Top Gear franchise on Super Nintendo, and Dunkel has not started yet for some reason. Oh, okay. So this first track is pretty straightforward, and the players will take care more at the start of the run is not hitting another cards, because you earn credits when you finish the race on first place, but you already earn credits when you hit some bonuses, like you should not hit another you should not hit another car, you should not go outside the track, and when they do those things they do some bonuses. So players will take care more about not losing those bonuses on the first few races, so they can afford the most expensive power-ups. Okay, we are just syncing the strings until Dunkel can catch up.
Yeah, Dunkel started a bit late, so that's why you see the images freeze a little bit.
Okay.
So Leandro, I have a few things to remember our dear watchers here. For those who doesn't know me, probably most of you, I'm Ice9. I do also speedrun this game, Top Gear 3000. And the main thing about this game is this race is about the game timing, the in-game time. The leaderboards are made in the in-game time, not the real time. For this event we are using the real time for see which one of these players finishes first. So this requires some practice in buying the correct upgrades for the exact round. And there are a few things, as Leandro said before, we should care about this game. It's about bumping the other cars and not crashing in the obstacles, either outside of the track or inside the track.
Yeah, we don't use in-game time, as Ice9 said, because the message that you have earned those bonuses takes some seconds, and to avoid things like missing bonuses on purpose to go faster RTA, people on leaderboard decided to just every split time to see which one is fastest on this game. They are on the second track. There are, if I recall correctly, 47 tracks in this game on hard level.
Yes. Yeah, there are 47 tracks divided in 12 systems. So this is the first system. Its name is Merak. The first track was Misk. This track's name is Mieja. And you probably have seen some plus 4,000 credits appearing during the screen. There are some spare money during the races. You can catch up the little yellow balls floating over the track. Each one of these balls gives you 4,000 credits. So in this track we have 96,000 credits, which helps a lot to buy the upgrades for the next track.
Yeah, at the end of this track, probably we'll see runners buying one of the gearboxes. So the top speed will increase a lot. A lot of things in this game is based on earning credits the most optimal way, so you can upgrade your car as soon as you can. So, okay, everyone finished the second track. Yoshi is a bit on ahead. Jonas second and Dunkel third. I think everyone will have money to buy the gearbox. It's okay.
It's okay for them. The gearbox costs 493k, so everyone should be okay to buy that. One thing we should mention to our viewers that there are 5 types of bonuses you get after the track. So let me quickly explain which one these bonuses is and how you get it and the amount of money, prize money you win by getting them. So the first one is the bonus A. You get 30,000 game credits by doing this by doing the
Using
finish the track with an active boost. So you need to finish the track while you are boosting. If you do that, you gain the bonus A and you get 30,000 credits. We skip the bonus B for now. We talk about it later. It's a kind of hard question to answer. What do you have to do to earn the bonus B? But for the bonus C, we earn 70,000 credits, and to gain it, you cannot crash in the back of the car, as Leandro said. So if a car pushes you from behind, it's okay, but you cannot crash in the back of the car. The bonus D, you get 40,000 credits, and you should not crash in any obstacle in the track or outside the track. And the last bonus is the bonus E, and you get it when you don't leave the track, so you must stay out the race inside the lanes.
As you can see, Yoshi is finishing the race with an active boost, so he will earn the bonus A. Usually you will keep your last boost until the end of the race to earn this bonus, until late in the game when you don't need credits anymore.
Oh, Jonas didn't get the bonus C and the bonus D, so he is gonna be a step back from buying the next upgrades. He has got some problems to do the purchase. This game is all about the money, because if you miss you've missed these bonuses, you get hard times to buy the proper upgrades in the right time. So you keep losing time by doing that. So you should try to get all of the bonuses in all of the tracks as soon you get the highest upgrades. So it's a very important thing to do and to take care of during the races. So right now you see Dunkel avoiding some cars. That's why he's seeking the bonus C. If he manages to finish the track without crashing, he will get the 7,000 extra credits for that. So he is now pushing his to the limits to not crash.
Yeah, as the first races are way more simpler than the last race, the latter races, and we can say some things about the game. The players are using the Japanese version of the game because for some reason the car uses less energy. The car consumes less energy, less like
as compared
the electric
as the
cars.
American.
Yeah, Top Gear 1 and 2 the cars use fuel, so but in Top Gear 3000 every car is electric and they use energy when they pass through those red parts of the
Yeah,
track. They
yeah.
will recharge their car.
And Leandro, it's an interesting thing about the Top Gear refueling system. Uh, in the Top Gear 1, we had a pit stop. So when you're run out of fuel, you should pit stop and your car stops, obviously, and you have to wait until your gas gauge is filled. But in Top Gear 2, the developers, opted to put the fuel system, but some reason they didn't put any kind of refueling system, neither pit or these recharge pads like we see in Top Gear 3000. That's a bit of a trivia for you guys.
Yeah. I think Top Gear 2, the developers must have had some deadline, so they have to comply. So they didn't implement fuel properly. You see a fuel bar there, but it does nothing. In Top Gear 3000, when you run out of fuel, your car will keep a bit of the momentum. You will not, you won't decelerate instantly. Your car won't stop. But as soon as you crash, you can't accelerate anymore. So I think it's as all those three runners are really competent at the game, I don't think we will see them crashing and showing this to us. But when you pick this game first, it's very easy to crash out of gas and getting a game over.
Yeah, I am a victim of this. The first time I run this game is it's a hard task to not crash. But after some practice, you figure out the tracks and the layout. Sometimes you notice when the cars, the back markers are going to appear, so it's a little more easy to just foresee what is going on, what's coming on to you, but requires a lot of practice. This game
and
has
Yoshi is buying the 4th tire.
Yeah, the tire is number 4.
Tire number 4.
Oh, Jonas got the bonus E on Turbis, the fifth track. It's a very hard scene.
Yeah.
In bonus C for Dunkel, also a brilliant job. Turbis is a very known track for being hard to get the bonus C because it has some blind turns and cars appear from nothing to kill you.
Yeah.
Moving to the next track, they are in the Zosmar system. Is the 6th track. Its name is Crew. And we got 40,000 bonus credits here, so it should help them to buy the next upgrades. And we also have a feature, what is not an exclusive feature anymore because another track has it, is the question mark bonus. And when you drive through it, you can get some random boost.
Upgrade.
Yeah, upgrades in game. Like you can get 1,000 money, 4,000 or 10,000. You could get full armor that restores your car protection. You can get the full energy, which fills the energy gauge, and you can get the speed up, which gives you the same effect as the turbo pad. You gain some speed passing through it. And the last one is +1 turbo. You get one
More boost.
Yeah, one more boost couch, so you can do faster times with it.
Yeah, the best option is almost always getting the boost, and after the worst is getting full armor.
Yeah.
Something over there, unlike Top Gear 2, which you lose your armor when you crash on another cars. You won't lose your armor if you crash on another cars. Only on objects in or outside the track. There's the only way you will lose armor. So this will be the last upgrade they will buy, and you can completely skip armor in this game because
yeah, unless you don't crash, armor is useless in this game.
Yeah. So they will completely ignore armor until really late in the game. If they have a lot of cash to spend, they will buy armor, but unless, they won't buy it.
So this is the last track of Zora's Mara system. Its name is Mouse God. This track also has bonus credits inside it. It's 60,000 bonus credits. So it's very important to them to catch as much as they can because they are going to need to buy the most vital upgrade for this part of the game, that is the jump. As far as I'm seeing, only Yoshi get the jump. So he's gonna get a massive advantage with this because he can jump over the cars. That means he cannot crash in it, and maybe he can also skip some obstacles. So it's a very useful power up, and for now Yoshi has that advantage with it.
Yeah, that's the biggest gameplay difference between Top Gear 3000 and the first two games, the jump mechanic, because it allows a lot of stuff like always jumping to avoid crashing another cars.
Skipping some track.
Yeah,
like you can go the outside.
Some upgrades. Late in the game, you will see that some tracks will look like platformer games, not racing games.
Yeah,
because of
jump. So Yoshi did a 1 minute 56. Let's see how is Dunkel and Jonas going to perform. Jonas is close to finish. He did a 1:55, 1 second faster. That's good.
And
he didn't have
really good.
Yeah, and he didn't have jump. That's a very good time.
Yeah.
Dunkel is finishing. He's gonna get a 1:57, so 2 seconds separating both. Not the three drivers. Quite consistent, I suppose.
Yeah. Yoshi is on first place at the moment, leading the race. Jonas is second, and Dunkel is third at the moment.
Alright, let's go to the 8th track. Its name is Tello and features the new system Sarin. Tello also has the bonus credits. It have
Can
60,000.
I comment on something? As people who notice the minimap has noticed, this track is split in two ways, in two paths. This is the main reason why Top Gear 3000 has an exclusive chip, GSP4. It was the only game who used this enhancing chip on Super Nintendo, and it will be a source of some issues with this game. Like, we had to separate the leaderboards of console and emulator, because for some reason the GSP4 emulation is not perfect, and the car is a bit faster on emulator than on console. You get like 7 or 10 miles per hour of top speed on by playing on emulator.
Yeah, I have the table here. We did a comparison back to them. There are some differences. Like sometimes your car are faster 20 kilometers per hour in the emulator, so that's quite a difference. So
SNES and Jonas, I think, were the runners who did most science on noticing those things.
Yeah, we did a quite research.
Everyone contributed, but the most of the work was on them, and doing spreadsheets to keep track of every difference from console to emulator. And in the end, we decided to separate the leaderboards. No, actually, emulators are faster than console. And as this game is really rare, mainly outside South America, because for some reason the Top Gear franchise was really popular in South America, way more popular than any other part of the world. So even here, it's a bit rare to get a Top Gear 3000. Wait.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was a storm is approaching here. Yeah.
Get your umbrella. We can commentate some more about the game. This game is pretty. Oh, this track is pretty much straightforward. We can also say that that's about this issue about the DSP4. It creates some lags in the game, some problems, because some emulators don't work properly emulating this game. You will see some tracks in the future that have some difficulties to emulate the in-game elements like fog, and sometimes the transitions, the bifurcations are split in a odd way, and sometimes you crash.
Yeah, they're a bit glitchy on emulator
they're a bit
sometimes.
glitchy.
It's rare, it's only a track or two, but it happens. And DunkelGotik have asked how does SNES SNES handle this? Well, for some reason it behaves like an emulator. We don't know why, but it behaves like an emulator. And the top speed of the cars is faster on SNES SNES, so we have to put the flash card in same category as emulator. Console is console only. I don't think we have tested all flash cards, but that's it. And again, sorry.
I'm not seeing the chat, Leandro. If you get some questions, you may take some to let us know, to answer, if we can.
Yeah.
So I see we see Yoshi 30 seconds ahead of Jonas already. It's a solid performance already.
Yeah.
He is actually in the. Let me see. My spreadsheet's bugged.
There's a question about immediately going from last to first. As they are really optimizing bonuses and they're always placing first in every race, they can afford the most expensive upgrades, and they are really faster than CPU at the moment. Usually in every Top Gear game, all 3 Top Gear games, you will boost at the start of the race, so you can reach your top speed faster. So there's something common to every Top Gear game.
Yeah, and Yoshi already finished the track, and he get all the bonuses. Great job. You may notice that there isn't any time that neither Yoshi, Jonas, or Dunkel got the bonus B. And that's a very sensitive question among the Top Gear runners, because the bonus B it's a mystery since the game was first launched off. You may say you want to say about something about it, Leandro. So let's go. They are actually in the 11th track. For me at least, is the most beautiful track in the game, the most beautiful background. It's very beautiful to see, and this should be an okay track if they properly avoid the enemies, the other cars.
And for some reason, Dunkel is
he's lagging a bit.
Yeah. Well, I had to mute my mic for a while because of the storm, but I forgot to unmute. So I have answered your question while I was muted.
That's no problem.
About bonus B, Yoshi had found the place in the memory of the game which tracks the bonus B. And there's nothing in the game that triggers that flag. I think it's similar to fuel in Top Gear 2. It was not implemented for some reason, but it's just we have no source of that. It's just something we suspect. I think Dunkel is having some issues. He have paused the game a little.
Yeah, we can switch maybe the audio if there's more major problems with Dunkel.
Yeah, I hope so. But
another. Go ahead.
I was going to talk something, but I forgot. Yoshi have bought the engine. I didn't see which upgrade he has bought.
I didn't see it. His stream is a bit like for me too. That's a sad thing when you have bad internet. But let's see which one Jonas will get. Probably the same. The strategy it's very similar. He's getting the Turbo 4. Probably is the same upgrade Yoshi bought, if I remember correctly. This track Zenton is very straightforward as well. It's no big deal to do it. Very easy. Should be okay for them. But this track you have caution because you can run out of fuel, so you have to timely you should have a good use of your boosts. So if you boost while you are out of gas, you can keep as much as momentum you can and not have the speed. You don't have the speed decreased. Another thing, just reviving the bonus B talk. This kind of mystery has been going on for 20 years since the game was launched, and we made a meme of it because sometimes when we are facing hard times to get the bonuses and we are running low on the money, that's when we say, go get some bonus B, mate. But we all know it's not possible yet. But will we someday
Yeah.
see the appearance of Bonus B? Live for C.
Yeah, we have heard every kind of thing about bonus beat that you may imagine. Like you should finish with the 70 seconds on
The same number.
same number, and you have to do some stuff like those urban legends of games.
Yeah, you should do 2 laps in the 2 lap every car 2 times, and let's see another one. You should you should cross the finish line with warp activated. You should pass with jump, and a lot of things have been tested, but no success yet. Most of people assume that bonus beat doesn't exist, and it still be a legend, urban legend, like Leandro said.
Yoshi have earned some advantage now. Dunkel and Jonas are pretty much
The same pace.
And very similar pace.
Let me see the balance. I just skip the credits cutscene. So Dunkel is buying the 5th gearbox. That's something we skipped to say. There are some upgrades in this game. The engine, the gearbox, tires. You have armor as well. The turbo, and you have the jump, attractor, warp, and the infrared. These last 4 ones are used in game, and the other ones are for your car to increase the speed, except for armor. So engine does what it's supposed to do. It accelerates your car and has like the same effect of the gearbox. Gearbox improves acceleration and engine improves top speed, so you can keep your top speed better with higher level upgrade engine, and you accelerate faster with higher gearboxes. The upgrades goes 1 to 6. Right now, some of them are 4, some of them are 5. I'm sorry, 5. Later in the game, we are going to see some players buying the 6 upgrade. When they buy the 6 upgrade, there is a massive difference between the 5th one and the 6th one. And if they manage to get this upgrade number 6 in the tracks earlier, it's better for them because they are going to be a lot faster and obviously gain more time and be an advantage over its competitors. So Yoshi is already 1 track ahead of the guys. He is in by him.
Dunkel have hit on a car near the end of the race. He lost the C bonus.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. People are asking about Top Gear 3000. As someone who has made full runs of all 3 Top Gear games, I can say every Top Gear game on Super Nintendo has its own gimmick, its own reason to be played. So I think Top Gear 3000 is a really solid game. It's very underrated because for the reasons I said before, like the game is pretty rare. I think it had only 10,000 copies. I read it somewhere. So it's not the kind of game a lot of people will play. And its distribution were a lot centered to South America for some reason. You can find this game here, but We rarely heard of them on other countries of people who have played them.
And that's one reason, because that's why the main reason the leaderboards of Top Gear is mainly composed of Brazilians.
Yeah, Top Gear 2 have a lot
Top Gear
of
2
runners
has
from North America.
yeah.
But Top Gear 1 and 3000, mostly people from South America play it.
Yeah, Brazil, Chile. And I think someone asked about if someone has run all the Top Gear 1, 2, and 3000 in a row. That's only one time I remember that Yoschimidtsu, who is leading the race right now, he did all the Top Gears 1, 2, and 3000 all in a row in the hard mode. It took him 6 hours straight.
Yeah, it was a bit below 7 hours, I think.
Yeah. So it was a very, very exhausting time for him.
Thunder again. Sorry.
We are seeing now, Yoshi, and the Brights track. This track has some, so it's very cool to drive because most of the time you are full speed in it, and he goes off the track to get one turbo, and this track has 3 extra turbo balls. If you catch it, you get 3 slots of turbo in your boost gauge, so you can go a lot faster in this track. Mostly of the time you are boosting, but you should have caution because you may crash in those chicanes. It's a very hard track to dodge the cars as well. But with this speed, it's maybe it's controversial, but it's easier to dodge the cars because you don't have maybe the cars flash by you, and the hitbox doesn't trigger. For some reason, you see sometimes the cars looks like ghosts, and the player car goes between through them, and that's a bit of gimmick about this game. So we see the difference now is 45 seconds from Yoshi to Jonas, and DunkelGotik are pretty much tied. It's a very intense race. Dunkel somehow managed to catch up with Jonas.
Yeah, just a few seconds of difference. Well, people are talking about in the chat about the Nintendo 64 Top Gear games. I haven't played actually, so I can't. I don't have an opinion about them. But I think there are 2 games: Top Gear Rally and Top Gear Overdrive, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't play as well, mostly because I like the Super Nintendo games more, the Top Gear Super Nintendo games more than the 64 games. But someday I will try maybe speedrunning. I don't know.
Oh, sure. About the jump, players will spam the jump because there's no real penalty of doing this.
Yeah, the jump is unlimited.
Yeah, it's unlimited, and you get no speed penalty by spamming it. And the only issue with spamming properly jump is that when your car is coming back to the ground, and if you find a CPU car, it will be very hard to dodge it. So most of the time they dodge it, and they start jumping only in some part of the track.
Yeah,
like
if they
on some blind curves and stuff like that.
you see Yoshi and the other racers spamming jump. That's a reason. Jump is unlimited, unlike the other 4 power-ups you have, the boost, and you see the other 2 soon. And like Leandro said, there is no penalty for jumping. I'm sorry. And you have less probability to hit someone while jumping. So that's why they keep jumping and jumping and jumping and hopping to be less probable to crash into the car and lose the bonus C. And also skip the obstacles in the track. Like this track has some obstacles you may see in the player's field, and the jump is used to avoid them.
Yeah, it's really weird to imagine racing cars jumping, but for some reason developers have put this in these games, and it's very easy to abuse it. So,
oh, Dunkel lost it. Want to see while jumping? That's a bit sad.
Yeah, an example of what we have been talking. Sometimes just spamming jump button will do more harm than good.
Yeah, right now Dunkel ran out of energy, so he's using he saved his last boost to do the boost while he don't have energy. That's a trick, like a strategy to not lose your momentum. So you see often that in some tracks that doesn't have recharge pads, the players keep the boost until they run out of energy and use it when they are zeroed. So that's a strategy to not lose the momentum and keep the car fast. We see Dunkel buying the 5th boost, the 5th turbo, I mean. He's gonna be a blast now. I saw we are reaching these higher upgrades. There's an issue in this game. Leandro and the other guys, we all know that we cannot race this kind of speed in the real world with our actual cars, like going 400 and 500 kilometers an hour. So when they are closing close to the top speed with these upgrades, sometimes you see soon that the car doesn't even turn, and that's an interesting thing about this game. You may say something, Leandro?
I don't know if it was something overlooked by developers or intended side effect of hyperspeed of those cars. But when you reach like 380 miles per hour, or I think you remember the value in kilometers.
Yeah, it's 617 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, when you reach those speeds, instead of doing a turn very as intended, your car will move only a few pixels to the direction you are pressing. So you won't be able to do turns to do curves when going too fast. So late in the game, they will have to manage this, and I'll give a bit of a spoiler here, and they will get the warp upgrade, like those green marks on the track, which make the car warp. Late in the game, this will be an upgrade they can buy, and players will use this to keep their speed on turns, because your horizontal position don't change. I think there's like 30 or 20 minutes until the race where Taken by Warp appears. So
Yeah, we are going
I'll
a lot faster,
explain
boys
better. Yeah,
and girls. We are seeing now they are in the, let me see which track is this one. 18 track already. We got 18 tracks. This track name is Thai, and it is a very interesting track. It's not a one of a kind. There are other tracks with one lap in this game. That's not an actual lap. It's a start finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for some reason my stream is lagging. Let me refresh.
And it appears as a straight line on minimap, but you have a lot of curves, a lot of turns on.
Yeah,
this
don't
track
trust the minimap in this game.
Yeah.
Definitely don't trust the minimap. And one interesting thing about the race, Leandro, Yoshi and Jonas, they are already with the attractor, and Dunkel he doesn't have the attractor yet. Oh, yeah, see Dunkel, he's turning, but the car doesn't turn. Look at that. You may say something about the attractor, or should I?
Well, when using the attractor, you can gain like 20 or 30 miles per hour when you have a CPU car near you. So it increases your speed by a little. And in Yoshi on lap 2, he took the longest path on the start of the track to catch some bonuses. So he sacrificed a few seconds here to earn more credits.
Money?
Yeah, and
hope to pay off later.
Yeah.
Oh, Dunkel with a very early crash. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. And the attractor has an effect of like a magnet does with the metals, with the iron. When you use attractor, your car is attracted obviously to the other car, and that's an interesting fact about the attractor. We often try to do it is we call attractor bug, when you are keeping pressing the attractor and use it, and by some reason the aim of the attractor goes beyond the horizon, and your car stops for a bit of a moment, and sometimes boom, you have 1,050 kilometers an hour. So it's a very interesting bug, and sometimes we try to replicate it, but it doesn't work in most of the tracks. And
I
that's
think
a
only 2 or 3 tracks have this bug. No, more. 5 or 6.
One minor, and that's the major attractor bug, and we have a minor attractor bug that doesn't boost you this speed, but it maxes your speed to 720 kilometers an hour. I remember in Rima we will see that that your car, if you use a tractor, the aim goes a bit to the right, and your car goes from 500 to 700 kilometers an hour instantly. So maybe we'll see this attempt by Yoshi. He is pretty consistent with this track, but that's not going to happen in all of the tracks. Is only me or Dunkel's screen?
Dunkel's having some issues.
Should we change to another audio?
Don't know. I think it will come back soon. But meanwhile,
I hope so.
You've got track of how many How many tracks they have played already?
Yeah, they are in the 20th track, the track number 20. One interesting thing about this track, its name is Metis. This track is the track which has the most bonus credits floating in the track. It's very interesting. I run all of the tracks and try to see how much credit you can get from these floating balls. Metis has a total of 204 credits, 4,000 credits. So it's the track with most reachable bonuses in the game. But as you see, they won't go for all of them because they have to save sometimes, especially Jonas and Dunkel. They are quite far behind. Yoshi already finished the track. Impressive. Jonas is, I think Jonas is catching up a little bit during this mid part of the game.
And Yoshi have bought the
Engine 5.
Engine 5.
So
we can expect his speed to increase a lot now.
And that's one thing about this track Yoshi is racing now. It's the fog. Leandro may say something about the emulator and the console, like the effects of the emulation in the fog.
Yeah, only the latest version of Kigun have emulated fog successfully.
Yeah, you can see the difference between Jonas and Yoshi.
Yeah, sure. Jonas.
Yeah, you can see the difference between Jonas' point of view and Yoshi's one. Look how smooth the fog is for Jonas and how there's no transition in the fog for Yoshi.
Yeah, but it's only a visual issue, so using different emulators in this case, it's fine. But the console looks like Jonas' screen.
Pretty much, except for the car is faster in the emulator.
Yeah.
So we are having some issues with Dunkel's stream.
Yeah.
I hope he gets his stream back soon.
Yeah, there's a few more days of marathon. I think last day is Sunday. So there are a lot of games you can watch on this marathon.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting event. It's very good to know some know some games you didn't heard about, like this one maybe if you didn't heard about the Top Gear series or the Top Gear 3000. You may think it's interesting and maybe you should start speedrunning. Who knows?
For people who are interested on running this game, there are 3 different difficulties we can choose. And the easy difficulty, you have way less tracks. You have 25 tracks only, and you don't have some of the late game upgrades on the car. And it's a bit, it's a good
start point.
It's a good start point for new runners until they can get used to the mechanics, so they can try the later levels.
Go ahead.
Only issue, no problem. Only issue you have playing on easy, maybe is if you crash your car when you have no energy. When your car have no energy, because if you crash too much, your car will like stop. The car does not stop when it hits.
It will look like a VW Beetle.
Yeah, it's like 20 or 30 miles per hour only, which is considering the speed of the cars in this game, it's like your car stopped.
Yeah, it's like walking.
Yeah, but easy in terms of difficulty.
Let's
It's
say the
way
easy it's the hardest, and the hard is the easiest.
like easy is really easy to finish the game casually, but easy is have the issue of the CPU cars being slower and they are way harder to dodge. So
And
we joke a little about easy being the hardest difficulty when
yeah,
you want to really
speed run.
optimize the game.
Yeah, I may say that for myself. I've been hunting easy for like 3 or 4 months since now, and I still didn't get the sub 1 hour mark. My personal best is 1 hour and 5 seconds.
And we saw something nice on the kill screen. And for some
180.
reason the collision.
Go ahead.
For some reason the collision on some tracks is a bit glitchy, so Dunkel have crashed on nothing. There was nothing on the track, and the car is still crashed. I don't think it's an emulator issue. I think it's some issue with the game. Dunkel, Dunkel appearing on the chat. Nice hitbox.
Yeah. That's a bit of a rage when we get one of those, because sometimes it's random. I have figured out the reasons for this. Sometimes it's like a glitch in the fork, the bifurcation. When you go to some side, the game privileges it like the right or the left. So you have to be the far right or far left in order to game accept it that you go to that direction. Otherwise, you may crash in the middle or crash in the nothing, and that's a bit of a rage when when you get those those.
It's a rich moment for runners.
And one other thing is the cars. When you have an early bifurcation, some cars go to left and some cars go to right. And if you stay too close to the bifurcation path in the middle, and you go to into one of the directions, the game may recognize that is an opponent in front of you. That there is a car in front of you, but the game doesn't show any, so you crash in the nothing. And that's another time when you rage.
Yeah, for some reason your car crash on the hitbox of the car, which is in the other path.
On
it's
the other
really
path.
weird sometimes. Like this game is really good and it's really fun to play, but some aspects of it looks a bit unfinished. Don't know the reason for this,
but it's an awesome game for a Super Nintendo game. The fact that the road split, it's unique to Top Gear 3000.
Yeah.
Let's see which track they are now. They are on Lizitea, with which Yoshi keep calling Lizitea because the A and the R in this game, the game font looks very similar. That's a bit of a joke between I and Yoshi for that.
Yeah.
Yoshi's already in Lara. Let's see the track.
The track looks like a cowboy hat.
Yeah, indeed. I didn't have noticed that. It's the cowboy track.
Yeah.
And there's a giant 180 loop of Sonic of something in the background.
Yeah. Some of the tracks on some of the art on the background are really unique.
Yeah, they are unique.
I was
Each
trying
one
to
of the
find a
track
way.
has its own identity of the background.
Yeah. Not only in terms of identity, but on the idea the developers were having. Well, we are going to make a game on which happens on year 3000. What kind of
Its
fancy stuff we can
structures,
put in the game?
yeah, that's very creative scenarios back in the background. As we see, Yoshi is very, very, very far. Lose some time there, somewhere. Jonas is very close now. He was
Yeah.
45 seconds ahead. He's only now 30. He lost 15 seconds somewhere, or Jonas is being faster. I think there's the combination of the two things.
Yeah. And Uncle is getting behind. I think those bonuses he had lost on some
it's
tracks
paying off.
he's starting to snowball into.
Yeah, he will keep going slower. Meanwhile, his opponents are faster, Yoshi and Jonas. He's starting a Lara right now. Meanwhile, Jonas and Yoshi they are finishing. So it's 2 minutes difference. Lara is the 24th track, so we are the middle of the game right now. When they pass Alara, we are going to the second half of this game. The first half is in summary, it's the hardest part of the run because you have to earn the money in order to get the upgrades faster and to not lose, to gain your time faster. By being faster, you gain more time, and by gain more time, you can avoid enemies better, and by avoiding enemies better, you get lower times and more easy money. Yeah, and on, and so it's a very good effect. On the other hand, if you keep crashing, you keep slower, it's hard to avoid the enemies, and you're going to buy the upgrades later, and you pretty much die. So this game privileges being faster and consistent, not crashing. Like other racing games, but not crashing is the main thing in Top Gear 3000. I suppose. If Leandro disagrees, I may respect of that. But as far as racing this game, it's not crashing the main goal of this game.
Yeah, it's harder to start when you go later in the game, not crashing, because of that speed glitch. I don't know if we can call it a glitch, but the fact that if you go too fast, your car stops steering.
Like we see now in Jonas' point of view sometimes. Yeah. So he releases gas when doing turns in order to stay below the threshold. Yeah, to not trigger the 670 kilometers per hour no turn car.
Yeah.
So Dunkel has finished
Jonas
Lara.
Have been catching up.
He's going for the second half of the game, like Jonas and Yoshi they are right now. They are in the new system, Miram. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th, 7th, the 7th season already.
Yeah, Yoshi is finishing this track, and we can talk about something about the emulation of this game. On the next, for some reason, there's a chance your game will freeze as soon as a race starts, and this glitch happens only on emulator, as long as we know. We have tracked it, and this crash can happen. Yeah, this can happen. It is very likely to happen on this track, the ice track.
Yeah, the
I
Sinop
hope
track.
though.
Blast
I hope
RNG.
Oh, okay.
Blast RNG.
Yoshi, as soon
Pass
as
through.
you pass the finish line,
Blast
your
RNG.
game freezes completely. Let's
Blast
see
RNG for
Jonas
that.
now. It
Please,
would be
guys,
really
blast
bad
RNG
if...
for Jonas. And for Dunkel as well.
Okay.
Uh,
It's a really weird bug. The game crashes, but the music keeps going. There's nothing you can do about this.
and I must say something, Leandro. I'm still frustrated because I was going for my personal best in the. I was improving my personal best in the easy category, in the run, in the early few days ago, and I was 20 seconds ahead of my personal best. Was going easy for the sub 1 hour mark, and then I reached the Sinop track and I jumped, and the game froze. The game freezes during the start, 2 seconds after the start. Oh man, that's so frustrating.
I think Dunkel have. I think Dunkel have been blessed by this glitch in a marathon before, so he had to do a backup.
Please, guys, let's pray for Dunkel.
A password as backup.
Pray for Dunkel.
Yeah.
So let's see, there is a very crucial moment that Dunkel doesn't get this soft lock. So bless RNG for him. Ah, he has 800 monies. Let's go, guys.
Okay.
he actually go far away to avoid it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. New strat for avoid the soft lock. We will discuss that later.
Yeah. As we have no clue of what triggers this soft lock, each runner have its own sympathy to it not happening. And Dunkel has its about he passes from outside the track.
Oh, interesting thing right now in the race, Leandro. Jonas has bought the warp before Yoshi, so
Yeah.
he may get a lot of time saved in the track if he manages to use the warp properly. So he can go full speed. Then he is going to switch the power up to the warp, and when he uses it, like Leandro said, the car doesn't lose the horizontal position, and he won't be. He can make the turn with the higher speed without turning it. So it's a very useful power up, and Jonas has got first before Yoshi. Yoshi is doing the traditional way, hopping and skipping the bushes in the chicanes. Since he doesn't have warp, he may lost some time during those tracks.
Oh, Yoshi have pressure and
but it's not a major crash.
A little,
yeah, a little bump.
Time because of that. Meanwhile, Dunkel finished the forgot
the previous track.
Sinop track.
Sinop is a very pleasurable. It's a pleasure to drive in it. It's a very good track.
It's a shame that the glitch triggers on that track because it's a really nice track to run, to try to optimize.
Yeah, and you finish it without gas as well.
Oh, and another, Yoshi is short of money again to
Oh,
buy
he's
the
struggling
wall.
to get the tractor. That's 2 tracks in a row. It's gonna cost some time saves, but it's very, if he can do the track without crashing, it's very good. So right now we are in Dione. It's a very very gimmicky track. Dione is the 28th track, is the track number 28. And this track has a lot of curiosities. The first thing is one lap, so that's not an actual lap. It's straightforward. It's start finish. And this track, for some reason, has 47 bonus credit balls hidden in the far right, if you may see while Yoshi's passing, or Jonas maybe. And
Yeah.
that bonuses gives you a lot of money, but you can't actually reach it because it's it's outside of the track path. And even if you go a little off the track, you still can go beyond that limit, that invisible wall. So there are 47 credit balls there, but you can actually reach it. So it's, it's a very interesting thing about this track. And also the background is unique. It's you are in a cave trying to escape. That's a cool theme for the background.
Yeah. Dunkel have froze again for some reason.
Yeah, he's struggling with his stream. That's sad. So Yoshi did a 120. Let's see the time Jonas will make.
Jonas have crashed, so he's losing some
Yeah,
time.
he lost.
His armor is red.
Yeah, that's the what we were talking about. This game, crashing is the main issue. If you crash hard, you lose 5 seconds, 7 seconds, which are the difference to maybe get a better time in the leaderboards.
Yeah.
So it's very very hard to keep all the momentum and do a lot of running a lot of tracks without crashing in a row. Other thing you may notice about the emulation, it happens in this track, Rhea. The Jonas, he will take the left path in the second bifurcation, and in some emulators, this right turn does blink, and the road suddenly disappears, and then he appears. And this doesn't have it in the console version, but in the emulators it's an issue in some tracks. The track disappears, then he appears again. And I noticed, Leandro, one interesting fact, maybe I didn't tell you before, that I lost a bonus E because of that. Even though I stayed on track, the game disappeared with the road and then reappeared, but somehow I still missed the bonus E. That's a interesting point to the emulator.
Dunkel internet has died for some reason. I think he had some tech issues. I hope it come back soon.
Let's hope for that.
Let's
But
see.
is he still running?
It appears it's returning. Let's see.
So Yoshi already finished Rare, this track, night track. Let's see the difference between Yoshi and Jonas.
So apparently Dunkel has come back.
Looks like it's about 30 seconds. Now let me refresh the stream. Alright. Alright guys, we are on the track. Yeah, we are on the track number 30. Track number 30, so there are only 17 tracks to go. Yoshi is on Catena, and this track has some interesting parts. That's a goal to do the sub 2 minutes in the easy category. It's very hard, and he often takes the left path to catch some bonuses, but it's quite risky because the bonuses are very close to the fences. So we need some skill and also luck to not crash there. If you crash there, it's certainly you lose 5 to 7 seconds. As we see, Dunkel is starting Dione, so he's a lot far behind our guys here. And also he maybe has stopped, paused the game to fix his internet connections.
I think he is 2 tracks behind by now.
Yeah, he is 2 tracks.
He was already behind and he had his issue. So
yeah, so pretty much it's very hard to catch up to Yoshi and Jonas. Yeah, Yoshi has crashed, so Jonas may have some.
He may catch up.
Yeah, he's closing some catch up. He's closing by.
The gap a little.
Yeah, Yoshi did a 153.
Why Yoshi have finished? Wait.
Oh, Dunkel keep crashing.
The on-screen display have shown Yoshi finishing second for some reason, but he finished first.
What?
A bit weird. I'll try to clip it. I'll try to make a clip of it.
Let's see the balance of Jonas if he is better than Yoshi. Yoshi is ahead, but the money of Jonas is 300,000 ahead of Yoshi, so he has the upper hand in the next upgrade. By judging this, they are in the track number 31. That is Dorson. They may buy the gearbox number 6, which costs 958 in-game currency. So Jonas is very close. If you just only finish first, which gives 100,000 credits, he will get the upgrade for the next one. Unlike Yoshi, he will wait for one more track because he doesn't have the chance to get the upgrade in the next one. Oh, Jonas trying a very risky strategy. He's going very near to the trees and do the chicane full speed without using his warp. A very risky strategy, but does pay off for him, at least for this lap. There are some strategies going in discussion between the runners in order to do the tracks faster, and some of them may go a little bit off track to not lose your speed. So your speed is more important than staying the track, because in the end of the day we are doing speedruns, not winning money with the game. At least not now, Kappa.
It wasn't that bad, but we will lose some time with the scratch.
Yoshi crashed to the right.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes going outside the track.
Traffic jam for Jonas.
Oh, it was really unlucky. Sometimes going outside the track will make you lose less speed than trying to go slower when you are still on the track.
Oh, Jonas with a big crash in the end. Very unfortunate.
Yeah,
He lost 9 seconds compared to Yoshi's time. Yoshi did a
yeah.
156 and Jonas 205. Oh, that's
And he
very
lost the
unfortunate.
bonus A too.
Oh, no bonus for Jonas, but he will get the gearbox number 6,
Wait.
I suppose. What?
Oh
Yoshi
no.
soft locked? No,
Oh,
man.
this is really
Is that
unlucky.
real?
Yeah,
No, man.
the game froze, but
The
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 contract
audio is
keeps
skipping on.
going.
Oh, that's really, really unfortunate. That's why we are talking about.
Yeah,
This game sometimes soft locks, but I never saw soft lock in this track.
yeah,
Which one is this one? Let's see. It's Fossa. Oh man, that's very, very unfortunate for Yoshi. He was leading the race. And that's a topic between the runners, also to use passwords to recover from a last part of the run. So you may try to attempt to copy the same bonuses and upgrades you have, but until now, if you soft lock the game, you're pretty much dead. So that's very sad for Yoshi. Let me keep up with the chat as well.
yeah.
The passwords are for the systems. Just answering the statement.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
started the game, and probably he will type a password.
yeah. Let's hope if he can somehow catch up with the password. But right now, it may be possible to Dunkel finish second. Maybe even though he has some issues.
Yeah, I think Yoshi's watching his VOD to get
Copy the
password.
passwords.
Yeah.
So just to explain our viewers, the passwords are generated each time you finish a system, not a track. So we have 12 systems, so the game generates 11 passwords because the first one doesn't count. So he was on the last track of the sub-rat system. So he will go back 4 tracks. He'll need to make Rhea, Katana, and Dursun again. Dunkel and his crashes.
Yeah.
Exclamation
This
mark
is the
birthday.
kind of stuff which happens only like 5% of your runs, and it happens just in a marathon. Or no, it's even more hard to this happen.
Yeah, since the game he is using the real time, he is gonna to have to catch up in the using his hand. By saying that, I don't think it's possible because he lost 4 tracks, and that means 10 minutes at least.
Yeah, and him and Jonas were really close.
Yeah, Jonas was catching up a little by some seconds, but sometimes Jonas lost 10 seconds. The gap gets bigger, but was a very quite close race considering this difficulty of the game. Like 1 or 2 big crashes cost you 20 to 25 seconds. So everything is possible. One thing about the speedometers, in the Japanese version, the kilometers per hour shows the K, the key, the slash, and the H. And the American version, you have the P in the slot of in the place of the slash. That's a cool thing about a trivia about the game. The Japanese version has this slash and the American version has the P in the kilometers per hour. It will be very hard to Yoshi to catch up. Maybe we see very close race between Yoshi and Dunkel fighting for the second place. But at this point, if Jonas doesn't soft lock as well, let's hope not, he will win this race. So he finished Lacus, and he's going to the next track. He is just to compare with. No, he finished Rima and he's going. Oh, I'm sorry. He finished Lacus and going to Paludis. So he finished the track number 33 and goes to the 34. Meanwhile, Yoshi is on the track number. Let's see, he's on the track number 28. No, sorry, 29. And Dunkel is on the track 31. So Dunkel is 2 tracks ahead of Yoshi. Now 1 track ahead of Yoshi. And Jonas is 3 tracks ahead of Dunkel and 4 ahead of Yoshi.
Yeah, as the chat have said, at least on Top Gear 3000, the conversion between kilometers per hour and miles per hour is accurate. Top Gear 2, for some reason, 250 miles per hour equals to
310 kilometers. I'm following the chat now. That's a very harsh conversion, to say the least. Just one interesting fact in this track Jonas is racing, it's Paludis. You have it's the second track that you have the
orb with the question mark.
Yeah, the question mark
gives
orb.
You a random bonus.
Yeah, the random bonus. So for a lot of time, the people who were speedrunning Yoshi, Jonas, and Dunkel, I don't know about Leandro, didn't know about these bonuses, and somehow they found it on my stream, and I said, how did you guys didn't see that bonus? it's on your face. How did you don't get it?
The orb is really similar to those orbs at the side of the track when you
the decoration orbs.
Yeah.
Outside of the track.
So we just thought it was an object of the track.
It's a quite recent discovery, but I thought it was quite obvious that was bonuses there, but now there are some new ways to race the Paludis track. If you can get a +1 turbo, you may finish the track with 5 or 6 seconds time save. Oh yeah, Jonas did a 2:11. My best time in easy category is 2:16, so I think it's not that good for Jonas. He crashed it. That's the reason. And that's a big difference between the hard and the. And we also have the medium difficulty. The car for the easy category barely passes the 617 kilometers per hour. Unlike the hard difficulty, you get over the 700s when you max out the upgrades.
Yeah, what Dunkel have just done, when you jump on, when you are finishing the race, for some reason your car looks like they are
taking off
outer space. Yeah,
it looks like an airplane and taking off from the track. Let's hope Yoshi catches up to Dunkel. We may see an interesting race in this last half of the game. Meanwhile, Jonas is boosting away his car to the victory. You see he's using his warp, and skipping from the track, not turning in the, not taking the turn, going full speed. So the game does the chicane for him, not he does the chicane for game. That's an interesting thing, and
Like
this way he keeps his speed. Yeah, it's a very hard task if Yoshi catches up Dunkel, since he is 2 tracks behind him. But it's possible, it's possible. If Dunkel keeps crashing and losing momentum and losing the time to buy the upgrades and getting slower, Yoshi may have a chance to catch him in the last 2 or 3 tracks. So right now, to keep updated with Jonas is in the track number 35, so for him it's 12 tracks to go. Yoshi just finished his track, so he's going for the track 32. The track he had the soft lock. And
let's hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, he will be really annoyed by that. And Dunkel just finished his track as well. I will update his track soon.
Like almost 2 years running this game, and I never saw the game crash on this track.
Oh my god, I thought Yoshi
really
had a... Yeah, I never saw someone get a soft lock in the Fossa track. So Dunkel, he is in Pailulis right now, so he's at track number 34. And Jonas is starting track number 36, so 11 tracks to go for him. That's an interesting thing about this track, which name is Tolus. You have +1 turbos in each side of the left bifurcation path. So that's a very risky strategy. You may see what he is doing right now. He skips the track and goes off-road, then rejoins the track and jump off again. It's a very risky strategy, but in the end it really pays off. You may save like 10 seconds by doing that. And if you get both of the turbos, you may go even faster. Alright, so right now he reached almost the max speed of the car. He goes 720. He gets the second turbo, so it's very promising race in Talos for Jonas. Let's hope he is going to get the skip the second and third lap. He got it in the second. It's very risky and very scary. Oh, very good job. Let's hope for the third one. He's gonna make maybe a low 2 minutes in this track. It's a very impressive mark, by the way. So after he catches up the 2 turbos there, somehow he crashes. How unfortunate that. That's really sad. He crashed in the bifurcation, like we said before. The game somehow forces you to crash there. Crash into nothing. As we see Yoshi fly away. I didn't see which bonus Dunkel get. If he tried to get the off-road bonus. So Yoshi has some spare money, but he won't get the... He's going to get the 6th turbo number 6. And Jonas is buying the... I think it's the engine 6, which is the last upgrade before the infrared. So after this, Jonas has his car maxed out in the upgrades, so he can go full speed right now with the maximum capacity of the car. The heavier you crash in this game, the more damage you get from the crash. But you can fix that by driving through the blue blue pads, which are the repair pads, and your armor goes to green again.
Someone have said in the chat, those cars are pretty strong when you can crash into a wall at 600, 670 kilometers per hour and only minor repairable damage. I think it's more impressive when you crash into a tree and the tree keeps on the same place.
Yeah, but let's not fight about it. It's Super Nintendo. We're not expecting
the technology was not there yet.
Yeah, or should we make cars race or should we cut off trees? We had to decide here, boys. It's a racing game. We should keep cars accelerating and racing, not trees. But it would be interesting to see that. Would be interesting. But I don't think it's very possible to do that in Super Nintendo, or with that a lot of elements going on in the race.
Yeah.
So right now Jonas is ahead.
For those who have arrived just now, Jonas and Yoshi were like 20 seconds apart, and Yoshi had soft locked the game, and he had to use a backup, which were 4 tracks behind. So it really set him behind this glitch. And Yoshi got full energy from the
Yeah, I
upgrade.
saw that. That's not a big deal because you should try to take this bonus in the second or the third lap, so you can take advantage of this full energy if you get it. I don't recommend trying to get the random bonus in the first lap because of this. So right now he has the run out of half of his energy gauge, so this full energy would be a lot more effective in the second lap. So and this track you run out of run out of energy in the while you're turning. Oh, close one. Go on.
Dunkel has bought the boost number 6, and he is really close to final late game upgrades. I think only engine is missing now. Engine 6.
And the engine 6 is unlocked right after this track.
Oh, sure. This is something we didn't mention. Some upgrades are unlocked in certain tracks. They are not available at the start of the game. And those upgrades change according to the difficulty you have chosen. Easy difficulty will have only the upgrades up to 5. So the 50 engine, the 50 gearbox, and stuff like that. On medium, you have access to engine 6 and tire 6, I think, and more. And hard, you get access to all upgrades in the game.
Upgrades, yeah. And it's a very interesting thing because that's the timing of the unlocking the upgrades. It's different for other tracks, for the categories. Like jump, it's unlocked a lot later in the easy mode, in comparison with the hard mode, which is unlocked a lot in some tracks earlier. So this gives a lot more of commodity, and it's easier to dodge in hard mode because Yoshi got the tractor bug. So
yeah,
that's
up to 800
max speed. Yeah, max speed.
Per hour.
Yeah, this is the track I was talking about. It's Rima. This track you can get this minor attractor bug. In benefit of that, he goes a blast away and keeps a lot of speed. And he didn't even use his turbo for that, so he will keep one turbo for when he runs out of energy.
Yeah, he could go even. He could achieve a even higher top speed if he wanted to. At that point. Let's see again.
The second lap, he didn't get it.
Yeah. It's really rare and random.
Apparently, it only works in the first lap.
Good.
Most of times I've seen that. Let's see in the third lap.
And never got those glitch. In a way, it helped me. I've got it once, and my car speed went to 0 instantly.
So let's keep our viewers updated. Right now, Jonas is on track number 39, so it's very close to the track 40. So 8 tracks to go for him, counting this one. Dunkel, he is on the track. Which one is this one? Let's see. He is on Adara, he's track number 37, so he is 2 tracks behind Jonas. And Yoshi just reached Toulouse. Toulouse is the track, one track before Adara, so Yoshi catch up one track. Yeah, he catch up one track in comparison with Dunkel, but Dunkel is finishing the track and Yoshi just started, so the difference is about 5 minutes.
And those strat Yoshi have just used to pass through outside the track and jumping the obstacles is really precise. It's really hard to pull up in a run, and he managed to do it like it was nothing. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, sure. Yoshi is a very skilled player, and he has all the world records of Top Gear 3000 in all of categories. So it's a very hard task for us to catch up his personal best and of course his world records. He's an insane player, not only in Top Gear. He's very good in other games as well. And we may say some things about the other races too. We have Dunkel. He is very known in the Brazilian speedrun community. He organizes tournaments,
mainly Super Mario World tournaments.
Yeah, Super Mario World tourneys and some other Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, some.
Yeah, very kind guy to help you. He is a very famous guy in the speedrun scene, Super Nintendo scene in Brazil. And we also have Jonas, which worked with me and getting some data from this game and try to understand its shenanigans and gimmicks. He doesn't stream that often, but he is very good player as well. He is second on the easy leaderboard. I think he is second on the hard leaderboard as well. So he's the player which is closer to Yoshi right now. A very good player as well.
And speaking about Jonas and something nice he found, he was playing another game and he found that the name of those planets were not made up. The name of the planets on this game are based on stars that exist in real life. So I was surprised when I knew about
Yeah,
this.
and Jonas and I with the trivia in this game. Jonas figured out the names of the planets and systems. They are based in stars and moons from the solar system and some constellations in the sky. So the names may appear a bit random, but actually they aren't. If we just do a quick research, Google or some kind of website you may prefer, you may find some information about that. That's a very interesting thing. They made this the Top Gear 3000 is a race between a race to the center of the galaxy. So they based the names of the tracks in stars, moons of the planets, and some stars of the constellations. It's a very interesting trivia to know. So Yoshi is very catching up really fast to Dunkel. It's still possible, like I said before, it's still possible to overtake him. Let's see if it's possible before the game, but they have 10 tracks to go. And Jonas, he is on track number, let's see, he's on Arime, which is track number 41, so 6 tracks to go for him. Meanwhile, Dunkel is on the track number 39, and Yoshi just finished the track number 38. So he is already on the same track as Dunkel and has spare money to purchase the Engine 6.
If I recall correctly, Arime is the second longest track in the game. Only lose to Mechan, which is the last track.
Yeah, Arime in terms of track length is the second second longest track in the game. It's not a hard track, but you should pay attention to the chicanes that are very narrow and sharp, and that's a source of accidents in this track.
Yeah.
You may see Jonas doing a left-right, right-left, then a left-right later, and also keeping his boost to use it when he runs out of energy.
Yeah, as Iceland have talked a few tracks before, don't trust the minimap on this game because.
Oh, I'm sorry, Yoshi's still 2 tracks behind me. Sorry.
Yeah, there are a lot of turns who don't appear at all on minimap.
Especially chicanes, so you have to memorize all the 47 tracks and its strategies, and the places the cars may first appear, and also save your boost and save your money and not crashing. All of these variables you should keep on mind while you are speedrunning this game. So it's a very fun and interesting part of the game that people just don't realize when they are playing casually. That's a very interesting game to race. Oh, Jonas with a big crash in the trees.
I think he thought it was the last lap because there was no reason to.
Yeah, I thought that. That's a source of crashes in this track as well. Since most of this late they are. Arime is the. Most of them are 3 tracks. I'm sorry. And
most of the tracks are 3 laps, and Arime is 4 laps, I think.
Yeah, Arime is 4 laps, and Mechan, which is the last one.
There's something about the track Dunkel is doing now. There's a glitch.
We skipped that.
There's a. You wanna explain the speed glitch?
Okay. the track Dunkel just crashed. The track Dunkel is racing, its name is Karen. It's a very famous track between us because it's very buggy. By far, it's the buggiest track in the game because it has some invisible hitboxes between the bifurcations, and it has a unique glitch that when you see the turbo pad, the yellow arrow placed in the ground, your car goes speed up. But after you leave it, it's expected your speed up tends to fade, and your car slowly returns to its normal speed. But unlike the other tracks, this track apparently has a bug, which when you pass and this yellow booster right now, Dunkel is passing, your car keeps accelerating, and this effect goes beyond the turbo.
Yeah.
It goes beyond, like just before the finish and start line, and that's very unique and very interesting bug in this track.
Yeah, his speed keeps going up until nearly the finish line.
Yeah, and this track for me it's the most annoying track because of the hidden hitboxes, and you don't have much opportunity to recharge in this track. So if you run out of gas and you crash, you're pretty much dead in this track.
Yeah. On top of that, on top of all those points, it's a challenging track to optimize.
Oh yeah. So Dunkel has got a sub 4 I'm sorry, 250-48. And Jonas is finishing the 1x less system. He's on Ratunev right now. He's finishing it and going for the last system, which is Kratz. So for him, it's 5 tracks to go, and he has an enormous lead to Yoshi and to Dunkel. So if he doesn't soft lock, he pretty much wins the race. Let's hope Yoshi can make into Dunkel. Dunkel keeps crashing, so he may catch up. Maybe. But it will be a hard task for Yoshi because he three tracks behind Dunkel. Now he's 2, and he doesn't have that room to catch up as he could have if he got this soft lock the early game.
Yeah, that's a shame. The race was really close until that moment.
And yeah, it's an interesting fact. The later tracks had few recharge pads, so you have to be a lot more concentrated to not crash.
Yeah, it's the way developers found to increase the difficulty of the game, along with the more challenging track layouts.
Yeah, because track layouts are getting much. They're not hard. I think only the hardest track is the last one because it's. You see which one is the last one. You see the characteristics. I won't spoil that. But by far is the hardest one. But the tracks that come before it doesn't offer that challenge in its layouts. It's mostly about saving fuel and using saving boost to use while you are out of energy. So this is the difficulty in the later part of the race.
For those who never played any Top Gear game, I can say it's all 3 games are really fun to play casually. And speedrunning wise, each of them has its own unique gimmicks and techniques, which make those games fun to run. Like Top Gear 1, you have to manage your fuel consumption, and it's way more like a racing game, a standard racing game. Top Gear 2, you have to uh, be
Not crash.
really aware of not crashing in both cars and in objects. Top Gear 3000, you damage your car only crashing on objects.
Unlike Top Gear 3000, the armor in Top Gear 2 it's split in 3 different parts: the front, the side, and the rear. So you have more probability to damage it.
Yeah, and the first two Top Gear games have manual gear. At least on speedrunning, we use manual gear because it's more. It gives you more resources to optimize your run. At Top Gear 3000, I think they didn't implement manual gear. Your car is automatic because of the upgrade, because of the jump, warp, and attractor upgrades you get through the game. And probably it would be too complicated to keep the shoulder buttons used to switch upgrades, and on top of that, having to change the gear of your car. So I think
Top
that was the
Gear.
reason why Top Gear 3000 have automatic gear.
Yeah, and yes, you do use all of the buttons of the normal SNES controller, because the left and the right are used to switch between the power-ups, and the other are used normally.
Yeah, and people were talking about the soundtrack of Top Gear games, and each Top Gear game soundtrack were made by different people, and all three games, in my opinion, have really nice soundtracks. That's something fun to think about. And
Oh, Yoshi crashed on Arime side to side.
yeah, like the three games were made by the same company, and it had different people working on it, and the result was pretty solid games and soundtracks.
And that's a reason that Top Gear 1 is the most recognized one, because it's soundtrack. Most people remember the soundtrack but doesn't remember the game properly.
Yeah.
In Brazil, it's a very famous game, in South America as well, and I think in Europe and United States and North America in general, Top Gear 2 is more famous and popular.
Yeah.
And Top Gear 3000 it's less popular in the other regions, like Leandro said earlier. But it's still a very good game, and a very good game to speedrun as well, because you have a lot of options.
And Jonas have finished Vega, the
second crash system track.
Yeah. Now 3 tracks to go.
Yeah, 3 tracks to go for Jonas, so he's very close to finish the game. It's almost 2 hours, so it will be 2 hours and 10 maybe.
And Jonas got the infrared upgrade, which is only cosmetic when you are in a night track. It gives those night vision effects. Like it gives no advantage performance-wise to your car, but yeah, you are swimming on money by that point.
And since the infrared is the last upgrade you buy, if you decide to buy armor before the infrared, it's only used in 2 tracks, and this one, which is Zosma, and the last one, Meccan, which is night as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much useless.
Yeah. Dunkel have reached the last system now. Let's see, okay, he still need to complete some tracks.
He's starting right at never right now.
Yeah,
So
Yoshi
he
is
is
3 minutes
like,
behind now.
yeah, 3 minutes. It would be a very hard task to gain 3 minutes in 5 tracks. I don't think it would be possible, but was a thing some tracks before, but Yoshi kept crashing. Maybe if he gets perfect some tracks, he may be a little more closer to Dunkel. Just to summarize for those who weren't here, Yoshi had a soft lock in the track. He was leading the race 45 seconds ahead of us, but the game frozen and he had to reset from 4 tracks back using a password.
Yeah, making cars jump is a ridiculous idea at first, but added a lot of depth, a lot of technique onto the run. So it was a really welcome.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
And by doing jumps, as you said, it opens a new window in racing, arcade racing for this game, because Top Gear 1 and 2 is pretty much accelerate left and right and switch gears. But now you have 4 different upgrades. You have boost, you have jump, you have a tractor, you have warp, and you have to take care of your line. You have to take care to not crash, because you lose money, you lose time, and there are so many things you should care about in this game. So that's the technique in Top Gear 3000 that makes unique comparing to its predecessors. And Jonas goes to the track number 46, which is Tyrion. Tyrion is a name based on an asteroid. So for him is the one track to go after he finishes this. Meanwhile, Dunkel is in Vega, so he's 2 tracks before Jonas, and Yoshi just started the last season.
As the chat have said, actually, it was a hard lock which happened because when you have a soft lock, you can still control your character or your car in Top Gear 2000 case, but you can't progress in the game. In the case, it was a hard lock because the game simply froze. So technically, calling it a hard lock is more correct. Thanks for reminding us of this.
Oh, Dunkel crashed. So
All
let's see
three
Jonas.
are on last system now.
Jonas is in last lap, going for the last track.
Sub 2?
Going 700
really
kilometers
nice.
an hour. Sub 2, let's go. Yes, very good time.
I think I saw people getting a sub 2 in this track only once. And now he goes to the last track.
Yeah, Yoshi did get a sub 2 there. I think Jonas as well, but was only one time.
And now Jonas is on the last track, Mecca, which is a nightmare when you are playing the game casually for the first time, because 4 laps and you're out of fuel or energy for the most part. It's really easy to get a game over on this track, just on the last track of the game. so it's a bit traumatic for
Yeah,
some
like
people.
Leandro said, it's a nightmare because it's the hardest track. You don't have enough recharge pads, and it's the track with most time you are driving in the narrow roads with 2 lanes, and the odds to get a crash is very high. So you may do this track perfectly, unless otherwise you lose a lot of time. Or maybe you can't even finish the track because you're running out of gas. So you see Jonas he is saving his boost for the last 2 laps, so he can't he will drive the car even without gas. He'll keep his momentum. And also Meccan is the name of this last track. It's the longest track in the game. In the easy category, you can't even do it under 4 minutes. At least for now. The best time is 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
Playing it casually is really easy to. It's really likely to finish the track in 5-6 minutes, but when speedrunning, it is possible to achieve a sub 4 minutes on this track. Oh, as you can see, Dunkel didn't buy the infrared, so you can see the difference
comparison,
between both upgrades.
Yeah, you can see the actual scenario without the infrared, and below you see the Jonas using the infrared. Personally, I like the infrared because it adds concentration. It is better for focus in the gameplay.
Jonas was on a perfect race and crashed at the start of last lap. Oh, fun fact, I was saying the cars are electric, but in fact the 2 last engines are nuclear powered, so...
that's why let's build some hype. Jonas is finishing the track. He's going to get for the last few turns. Let's see which time he's gonna make it. Last set of turn for Jonas. He goes for the skip. Last turn for him, and that's a GG for him.
GG.
Jonas won the race.
Jonas.
Congratulations, well done, man. Jonas is the first player to finish the race in a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 3 seconds.
Yeah. Yoshi froze here for some reason.
Is he okay?
No. Let's see. Dunkel were having issues with his internet. I think it had solved, but now maybe Yoshi is having issues. Let's see.
Did Yoshi forfeit it? Or not?
No, I don't think so.
Looks like Yoshi forfeit.
No. He's... Let's see.
And
because his timer froze too, so I think it is an issue with his internet.
So right now Dunkel is in the one by last track.
Oh, he's back. Probably his internet died for a little while.
that's unfortunate. Yoshi had a very bad luck this race, man. After the game freezing, he was a very good pace, but that's unfortunate for him. We could see a very interesting race in the end.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Jonas.
Hello, Mr. Jonas. Congratulations on a win.
Thank you, guys. I just typed there in the chat. I felt so. First I got a little mad, but then I felt good for hitting that tree on the last track. Otherwise, I would have PB. I would have a PB that thing I would have PB for like 1 or 2 seconds only.
In Meccan?
Yes. I saved like 10 seconds in Tyrion, the last but one track. And then on the last, and I was minus 2.7. I mean, oh my god. Don't let me PB this thing, yeah. But I didn't hit that tree in purpose, okay?
We will take that as a truth.
Yeah. It was really unfortunate. Yoshi was on the.
He was first, 5 seconds ahead.
He was on first, but you two were really close to each other. But he soft-locked on Fossa, which is the 50th track of Super. Hard-locked. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get used to say hard lock instead of soft lock. But really,
it's like muscle memory. I say it wrong so many times. It's a bit hard to correct. But then Yoshi had to go 4 tracks behind.
And he hard locked in Fossa, so he came back to Hea, right?
Right, yeah. 4 tracks back.
That's a shame.
Not counting the time he need to browse his records, to catch the password.
Yeah, so for everyone that is watching, so we are using real time here. However, just for our race purposes, I think you might have said that, but this game is a in-game time. The speedrun of the game is an in-game time. So I splitted my. If you go to my live, you're gonna see that I splitted my last split with the numpad 1 instead of typing the time I got on Meccan, but so I got like a minus 3 minutes goal, which is not correct. But I still think it wasn't a PB. However, I'm starting to think I got a PB for less than 1 second.
Oh.
Because I did a 3:41 something. My best and my PB time are 3:39.70. So yeah, I think I got minus than 2 seconds. Considering I was minus 2.7, yeah. I might have PB that for less than 1 second.
Let's see, Dunkel, he is finishing the game right now. He's coming for the 2nd place. He is going for the last few sets of turns. He takes his narrow, scary turns, going for the uphill, taking left corner, then a full set of rights, 5 rights in a row. That's good, 3, 1 more, then 4, 1, 2, 3 lefts, and the last turn. So it's GG with his style crashing the last bush.
Yeah.
GG for Dunkel. He got the 2nd place.
Yeah. GG.
And we have to wait Yoshi for another 5 minutes because of his bad luck.
GG, Dunkel.
Yeah.
Oh, Yoshi got a sub 2 in Tyrion.
Yeah.
Very consistent pace there.
You both got
159s.
Yeah.
But
He
Yoshi's
has
time
to
was slower.
see.
Answering Tug in the chat. No, this is not real life. Yoshi is third because the aliens had stolen his engine, so he got back to the engine one.
Yoshi was first, but Jonas was catching up really fast. It would be really interesting. It's a really shame
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah, I was supposed to put that thing on my screen at the beginning of the race, but I forgot. So I'm putting it right now. It wouldn't have helped anyway.
Please pray for no softbox, no power outage, stable internet connection, the world race, and praise for bonus C. Please praise for bonus C.
Yeah, and Dunkel had issues with his internet as well.
But really, between okay, so Leandro and Ice9 also run this game. So, but between we five here, Yoshi, we consider Yoshi to be the best.
Yeah, we say that between meanwhile we are commentating the race. Yoshi is very good player and skilled as well. So today he
unfortunately
unfortunately
this kind of stuff has to happen in races because okay, I'm not saying it doesn't happen when we are live in our channels, but
Yoshi crashed really hard. Luckily,
that was saying.
Yeah, that's what happened when you crash and you are.
Oh, he's close to the
out of
the
gas.
recharge.
When your armor is not green, intact, and you crash,
your car top speed is lower.
You lose momentum really hard, really quickly, and decelerate like that.
And also that your top speed is lower, so you can't get to the actual top speed of the car because your armor is compromised. And he crashed again. That's bad.
It's probably very tilted because of the soft lock, hard lock, anyway.
Whatever. So he is less lap of the race. Let's follow him through the last corners of Meccan, going through this.
Let me take off that thing off the screen because it's just too now.
So let's go the last sets of turns. He's going to be very wide there. Crashed the car.
Those jumps Yoshi is doing is really more difficult than they look.
Last turn and G for Yoshi.
You just use that turbo in.
Okay, GG.
So, resuming the race. Yoshi was far ahead, then he had an issue with his game, the game had frozen, so Jonas overtook him. Jonas finished first, in the second place is DunkelGotik, and in third place is Yoshimidtsu. Any comments, Leandro, Jonas?
Nothing special. Thanks for all the runners for the amazing showcase of Top Gear 2000. Thanks everyone. I hope you all have enjoyed the race. English is not the main language of us, but it was really shaky at the start, but we started getting used to it as the time passed. So thank you very much for.
We are sorry for our bad English. Sometimes we don't
Yeah.
find the words to say what we want to say. And
Yeah.
I hope you understand a lot of things we try to talk here. And we encourage you to try Top Gear 3000 and speedrun it. Maybe we can have
Yeah.
some competition firing up the leaderboards.
Yeah, and thanks for Speed Gaming for allowing us to showcase the game to a bigger audience. Hope you all have enjoyed, pick the game, play casually, or even speedrun it. And
So that's conclude your race. Thanks everyone who watched this 2-hour marathon, and keep following the channel. We have a lot of games, interesting games
yeah,
to watch.
next game, for those who still want to watch what Yoshimidtsu, he will play Tetris Attack next. He's really his runs of Tetris Attack are really good, so I suggest this watching you won't be disappointed.
Alright guys, thanks everyone who watched the race, and have a great night, / day, or / afternoon, wherever you are in the... And see you in the next races, and see you in the next race in the marathon. Bye!